Fox Sports.
We are Baltimore. We are so.
Last night's fantastic finish in extras ended Atlanta's recent misfortunes against the Mets. Swing and a base hit to center. One run scores. Here comes Uribe around. Cameron Maybin is redeemed. Ground ball second. Peterson's got it. Flip to second. The Braves have stunned the Mets in extra innings.
Wow. What a win. What a great win.
Today, a crucial division series is at stake. It's the Braves and Mets. Game 3 next. As we get set to take another bite out of the Big Apple, the Braves begin the third and final game of this series right back where they started here at Citi Field. They start play today just 2.5 games behind the division-leading Mets. A chance to gain another game if they can win the series outright on a beautiful day for baseball. Chip and Joe, welcome back to New York. Wow, what a ball game in extra innings. The Braves stunned the Mets, took advantage of their bullpen for a change. Maybin and Freeman had wonderful offensive performances late, and the Braves picked up a game in the standings.
You know, just when it looks like the Braves are about to slip into the abyss of the Marlins and the Phillies, they totally redeem themselves. And they pulled one out yesterday when it looked like they didn't have a shot at anything. And an unusual way to do it, with Jason Grilli getting the win and Williams Perez getting the save. Great comeback by Atlanta.
Yeah, Perez walked off the field and said, hey, watch out, Grilli, and watch out, New York Mets, because Mike Foltynewicz gets the ball for Atlanta today. Rough June for Mike. Hopefully he can turn it around this afternoon.
Yeah, his last two starts have been really ugly, mainly because he's been wild in the zone. He hasn't walked a lot of guys, but he's been throwing a lot of pitches right down the middle. He's got to get that figured out today. Dylan G, Braves killer, hasn't pitched that well this season, hasn't pitched that well against the Braves in one start. So we'll see if he's able to continue that dominance. Hopefully the Braves have got him finally figured out.
Maybe a showcase start for Dylan G, who is making a spot start for the New York Mets. Nothing wrong with Andrelton Simmons' work against the Mets. A 4-hit game yesterday. When we come back, we'll talk about that as we get you set for Game 3 of the series.
AT&T UVerse, Delta Airlines, and your local Ford dealer.
Welcome back to Citi Field, where it's the 9th of 19 meetings this season between these two division rivals, and the Braves looking to take the rubber game of this series on a beautiful 85-degree afternoon here in Queens. Good afternoon again, everyone. I'm Andre Aldridge, and what a ball game last night, and what a performance by Andrelton Simmons. Man, oh man, how about Simba, a career-high 5 times reaching base with a walk and 4 base hits. The 4 base hits in a ball game equaled his career high. A few minutes ago, I asked Simba, do you remember the last time you got 4 hits in a ball game? And he just simply said, yesterday. Clearly not too involved with his stats, but this is worth repeating. What a big, big ball game. Previously got 4 hits in the game in 2013. And all of his work this season against the Mets is the subject of our Georgia lottery hitting the jackpot, because last night, really just a continuation of what we've seen all season against him in 8 games. 481 batting average, a on-base percentage of 548, and a slugging percentage of over 700. Just simply a nice piece of work. And Mr. Simba plans to do the same thing in front of these New Yorkers this afternoon, and Mike Fultonevich would appreciate very, very much. We're going to take a quick timeout, come back. Chip and Joe have the first pitch for you. It's a great afternoon for Braves baseball. Enjoy it, folks.
Beautiful day for baseball in New York. And the Braves hope to ride out of town with a series victory today. Terry Collins, the Mets skipper, on the right. Freddie Gonzalez of the Braves exchanging lineup cards with Gary Cederstrom, who will have the plate for the 3rd final and rubber game of this series. Great win for the Braves yesterday, their first win in New York this year. They beat the Mets 5-3 in 11 innings. A ferocious comeback for Atlanta, 2 in the 9th and 2 in the 11th. After some excellent work by the Braves relief corps. Here's the Academy Sports and Outdoors lineup. Pretty much a standard starting 9 for Atlanta. Peterson, Maven, and Freeman. Markakis 4th, Uribe 5th, Kelly Johnson, Andrelton Simmons, Christian Bethancourt gets his first start of the series, and Mike Fultonevich will pitch for the Braves. And Dylan G, got to wonder where his head is right now, Joe, for the Mets. In and out of the rotation, in and out of the bullpen, back from bereavement leave. Maybe a showcase start for the Mets, who have a surplus of starting pitching right now.
There's got to be a lot on his mind today, knowing that there's a lot of scouts here to watch him pitch today. These are his last 4 starts against Atlanta, all very good. A 1.63 ERA. But because the Mets had talked about a 6-man rotation and then a week later bailed on that, went back to 5-man and put G in the bullpen and said you'll get a start ever so often. Well, this was a very good spot for that to happen because of his success against Atlanta.
And that's exactly what Terry Collins said in the papers yesterday as to why Dylan G was getting the ball today. The other reason for that is they want to limit the workload, as we've said a couple of times in this series, of Harvey, Syndergaard, and Jacob deGrom. So for now, Dylan G's in the rotation. After this start, if he's still a Met, he'll probably go back to the New York Mets bullpen. And that's not what he wants to do. This man wants to be a starting pitcher. The Mets defensively line up with Siciliani in left. His first big league assist came in the game yesterday. Juan Lagares is back in center. Curtis Granderson in right. Duda, Herrera, Flores at short. Ruben Tejada gets the start at third base, and Travis d'Arnaud is back in harness behind the plate. It is a perfect day for baseball here at Citi Field. The Mets lead in the division, trimmed to 1/2 game over the Washington Nationals, who beat Milwaukee yesterday. The Braves are 2.5 back. And we will head to Boston after the game today, where the weather forecast, we understand, at Fenway Park tomorrow is absolutely awful.
A high of 61 tomorrow is expected in Boston, with a 90% chance of rain almost all day. So we'll see what happens.
Which makes for a really interesting trip with the absurd 2-game series on the road that the Braves will play, we hope, beginning tomorrow. So Jace Peterson's ready to go for Atlanta. Braves leadoff man having a good run, riding a 7-game hitting streak, and he's 3 for 9 with an RBI so far in this series. So one of the New York youngsters just made the announcement to play ball, and that is what we'll do. Dylan G's first pitch of the day is slapped into left field, a base hit. 1 pitch, 1 hit. Peterson has an 8-game hit streak.
Gotta like that. G's fastball, high 80s, maybe tops out at 90 miles an hour, and his slider, changeup, and curveball are his secondary pitches. That was a breaking ball to start. Braves pick up where they left off in the 11th inning yesterday.
And let's hope Cameron Maybin picks up where he began May 1st. This guy's been one of the hottest hitters in baseball since May 1. A .341 average with 24 RBIs for the Braves center fielder in that stretch. Cameron has 4 hits in the series. 3 of them came in his last 3 at bats in the 8th, 9th, and 10th innings yesterday. At the 11th inning yesterday for Cameron Maybin, who takes a strike from Dylan G. 0-1. Jace has a good lead at first, and Maybin a big swing and a miss. It's 0-2.
The 2 hits by the Braves in the 9th inning to tie the game. Each came with 2 outs from Maybin and Freeman. More clutch hitting.
Outside, 1 ball and 2 strikes.
Dylan G's had a relief appearance 4 days ago, but his last start goes all the way back to June 3rd at San Diego. 4 innings, 8 hits, 7 runs, only 4 were earned. The defense let him down, gave up a homer. But 11 days since he was a starter. Some little time on the disabled list earlier this year too. Came off on June 3rd because of a groin injury.
Slap foul into the camera well behind the Mets dugout. And here's our T-Mobile game changer. It is Cameron Maybin.
How about this? Since May 1, a .341 over 500 with runners in scoring position, 27 RBIs. Quite a difference from his slow start.
And didn't get that breaking ball. It wasn't a strike. Maben was fooled by that pitch, and there's the first out of the game.
But you might remember at first 2 weeks of the season, he and Eric Young were pretty much platooning and splitting time. It was a good breaking ball from G. Late breaker.
So here's Freddie Freeman. He hit a first inning homer that got things going for Shelby Miller and the Braves against Jacob deGrom yesterday. Boy, were those guys good. Freddie's home run measured at 437 feet out by the Shea Bridge above the bullpens in right. And a roller foul evens the count. Look how far this baby went.
And it even sounded loud. .94-mile-an-hour pitch. It did travel 437 feet, but it also traveled an additional 50 feet beyond that.
Runner goes. The pitch inside. Darno's throw had no chance to get Jace Peterson, who steals his 7th base.
He's also been caught 6 times, but he got a real good jump there. And a good pitch to run on, too.
Freeman with a base hit to right. Here comes Peterson around third. He'll be green lighted. Freddie Freeman does it to the Mets once again. A first inning single, and Atlanta jumps in front.
That was a breaking ball. With first base open, I really didn't expect him to give him anything to hit, given his success against this ball club. But this breaking ball, a hanger right in the middle of the plate, just got waylaid. And Freddie now with 40 RBIs. Gonna have to drag him kicking and screaming out of New York.
This is Nick Markakis, 1 for 10 in the series. Freeman at first, and strike one. I told you in the pregame, someone's going to pay for the early season struggles by Freeman against the Mets. He's paying them back in this series. Foul. Would you say, Joe, that Dylan G is a rhythm pitcher? The reason I ask, he's not a power guy. He throws hard enough. He's got that good breaking ball, but he's been ping-pong in and out of the rotation so much for New York. With all he's gone through personally these last couple of weeks, how good can the Mets expect him to be today?
I would call him a finesse guy with a little better fastball than most finesse guys. He's never walked a lot of people. Only 10 walks this year in 36 innings. That's actually kind of high for him.
Oh, 0-2 pitch. Markakis shoots that towards Siciliani and left. He's got it. 2 out. Freeman back to first for Ronnie Uribe. But as you said, last start June 3rd. He pitched out of the bullpen on their road trip against the San Francisco Giants.
Well, we don't get to see him as often. I mean, more often because he's in the division. But take a look at this. Since the start of the 2014 season, his last 20 starts, he hadn't been the same guy. And I don't know if that's due to injury, fatigue in his arm. I don't know what is going on, but he's not the same guy.
Back to the mound. That'll take care of Uribe and Atlanta in the first. A leadoff hit, a stolen base, and a Freddie Freeman 1-out single gives Fulte a 1-0 lead. 33-30, and one half game ahead of the Washington Nationals. Curtis Granderson leads off their academy starting 9. Lagares, Duda, d'Arnaud their first 4. Flores in at shortstop. Siciliani is an impressive kid in left. Tejada, Herrera, Dylan G. And let's hope Mike Foltynewicz gets back on track here in his 3rd start this month.
Boy, he had it working there for a couple of starts where he's fanning 7 and 8 guys a start. His fastball, his best pitch in the mid-90s and even higher than that when he wants to. Slider and curveball change, not too many change-ups. His problem has been he's been a little wild in the zone. Too many good strikes.
There's no question about the arm or the velocity, but image is a key.
His 4 keys to pitching success today. He's had some trouble in the 1st inning and then getting going. So today, get after it from the get-go. Establish your fastball, work the corners. Don't be concentrating so much on just throwing a strike, but throwing a quality strike.
Fouled away by Granderson, who's 2 for 10 in the series, hitting .241.
Mike did not have a perfect 1-2-3 inning in his last start. In fact, all but 1 inning he faced at least 5 batters.
Breaker, and Granderson hit it to right. So he's got a leadoff single. And the Mets go to work trying to even the score in their first at bat.
High breaker. The one he threw before was so high it was up out of the zone and taken for a ball.
Here's Juan Lagares. He tries to bunt and fouls it away. Strike 1. That center fielder's hit a couple of homers. He's knocked in 16 and is batting .271 for the year. Lagares came on as a pinch hitter in the 7th yesterday, singled and scored, and went 1 for 4 in the series opener. Behind 0-2.
Offensively, he seems to get better every time we see him. I already knew that he was an outstanding center fielder.
Broken bat up the middle and through for a hit. Granderson around second. He'll take 3rd as that ball rolled slowly out towards center. And the Mets have back-to-back hits. And runners at the corners and nobody out.
Another breaking ball. I'd say don't put those fingers down again, Kristen, until you figure out how to get that slider over.
Good breaking ball. It fooled Duda. He's hit 9 home runs. And that's served to 3rd. Uribe in a perfect spot to make the play. There's the first out. And now the double play in order if he can get a ground ball off Travis d'Arnaud's bat.
Yeah, no matter how you get it, you get an out without a run being scored, and another pitch let her high. You have to get the ball down. No matter how you get that out, that's a good one with runners still at 1st and 3rd.
d'Arnaud's only played 14 games. And he's only hit for one double play.
Well, he's a candidate. As hard as Fultonevich throws, if he can get it in on him, he likes to swing at that pitch in. You know, a broken bat flare last night played it a couple of runs.
Off the glove of Bethancourt. Granderson's coming home, and the play at the plate not in time. We'll see how it's scored, but we are seeing an awful lot of catching issues with Christian Bethancourt.
He's coming off the worst game he's ever had as a professional in Atlanta against San Diego the other day in one inning. That was definitely a pass ball. Granted, the pitch was up, but it's almost like he blocked his own view with his glove.
So that ties the game. A passed ball. And now that takes away the double play chance, and d'Arnaud ahead in the count. And right there, an even count. Strike from Fultonevich. He was up, but he missed it. 1-2. What concerns you about Christian Bethancourt? He's supposed to be the best defensive catcher in the system. This is his 29th game. That's already his 5th passed ball.
The pass ball and the catcher's interference in the one inning against San Diego cost the Braves dearly.
Told this is the 3rd consecutive game in which Bethancourt's had a pass ball. He can't play every day. That's A.J. Pierzynski. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And foul back toward us.
Let's see Chip if he put his glove up in front of his face on this high pitch. He had to raise up because it was up. But it's almost like to go get the ball, he took his eye off the ball with the glove. I mean, he blocked his vision with the glove.
So the first inning troubles continue for Mike Fultonevich. You see, with Mike, pitch count's always a concern. He's a power guy that at times struggles with his command. He's gone 6 or better just 3 times in the last 6 times he's been in rotation. Strike him out with an inside fastball. Tied him up. d'Arnaud's the second out.
Up and in. Not too many guys can catch up to that.
Ball 1 to Wilmer Flores, the Mets shortstop. Flores had a double yesterday. And he pokes this one high in the air toward left, but playable for Kelly Johnson, who makes the grab shy of the track. Back-to-back singles, and a passed ball plates the tying run for the Mets. between Christian Bethancourt and the Braves bench.
As he walked in, Roger McDowell was making some notes, but he called Christian over. And in no short terms, let him know something wasn't right.
And it keeps happening. That's the frustrating part. So a pass ball ties the game. We start anew. 1-1 heading to the second. Kelly Johnson, Andrelton Simmons, and Christian Bethancourt are coming up. New life for Dylan G, who's looking for his first win of the year. Braves beat him early in the season. Scored 5 runs against him April 11th. G got a no decision April 22nd when he pitched a great game. 7 innings of 2-run ball. And that's high to Kelly, who's 0 for 4 in the series. And there's a strike. It's 1-1. Fly ball pretty well hit center. Lagares goes back. He plays shallow. He's onto the warning track. Can't get it. It's up against the fence. And Kelly Johnson leads off with a double to the 408 mark.
Snaps an 0 for 7 for Kelly, and anytime you hit a ball over Lagares' head, you've done something. This might have been out in Atlanta. Just out of his reach. Left-handed batters ought to have a good day today. Dylan G is allowing a .342 average by lefties. Fultonevich .320.
Now Simmons, who had a 4-hit game yesterday, sprays one off the screen. And the other thing I would think that would help the Braves hitters, you know, Dylan G's around the strike zone. He throws a very high percentage of strikes.
Yeah, 3rd highest in baseball at 71%. And he also has another distinction of being the highest in baseball, and one he'd rather not have, a .433 average with runners in scoring position.
One ball, one strike. Bouncing ball to the left side. Kelly Johnson thought about going to third. Wisely did not. Flores was right there. He's still in scoring position as Simmons rolls out, and that'll bring up Christian Bethancourt. Christian at 206. See if he can drive home his 10th run. That's low. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the air to center, a one-hopper to Lagares. Kelly Johnson had to hold up. Now the throw to third is late. And Christian Bethancourt chases Kelly Johnson to third with a 1-out single. And Mike Fultonevich has a chance to help himself.
That ball had some carry on it too, and that's why Kelly had to freeze to make sure Lagares, as you mentioned, who plays shallow, hanging breaking ball that he ripped. Had to make sure that Lagares was not going to catch it, and then it was a foot race.
So 4 hits allowed by Dylan G in the first inning and a third. Let's see what Foltynewicz has in store for us. Mike 2 for 17 at the plate. He has struck out 12 times. He has 1 sacrifice bunt.
Three RBIs and that bases loaded double in Atlanta.
Got a piece of Darno. Took some punishment yesterday. He got a foul ball off the left arm bone. That one might have clipped his right hand on the way by. Or under the chin. Foul behind the plate. 1-2.
Get the bat out in front of you. You're up in the front of the box and the bat is out in front of you. When you do that, then the ball's going to come down in fair territory.
And Foltynewicz strikes out. Two strikeouts for Dylan G, but Braves still alive with Jace Peterson coming up.
Try to get those arms extended a little more. They shouldn't be stiff straight out. They're just a slight bend in your elbow so that you catch the ball with the bat and not take it forward.
Swing and a drive deep right field. Granderson's not getting that, baby. It's gone. Jace Peterson with a 3-run lightning bolt. And the Braves are back in front.
That didn't take long to get out of here, did it?
He ladled one into left and then crushed one to right.
That's a good description for the first one. Target away, change up, middle of the plate, up, crushed.
Second homer for Peterson. He's got a 2-run, 3 RBI day, and it's now 4-1.
That is a huge pick-me-up for Mike Foltynewicz.
Now Maben fouls one away. 1 ball, 1 strike. In the air toward Granderson, who took a circuitous route to make the play, but that retires the side. A double, a single, and more offense with 2 outs. Jace Peterson, a 3-run homer, gives the Braves a 4-1 lead.
Holding on to a 4-1 lead thanks to that Jace Peterson home run. Although we continue to watch the education and the growth of Christian Bethancourt. And I had a long conversation with Christian yesterday about the pass ball and the interference he had against the Padres, and his confidence was high. He said a couple of his teammates came up to him and told him, Christian, when you hit the home run last Saturday against the Pirates and we won the game, you didn't win the game, the Braves won the game. So don't put the weight of this loss that we had against the Padres on your pass ball and on the catcher's interference. And he seemed to take heart to that, the fact that the clubhouse was behind him. But, Chip, as you said, it is curious that with the confidence, he continues to have the repeated problems.
And that's what has to concern you, I think, Andre. And Joe, if you disagree, tell me.
Thanks, Woody.
This is a great opportunity for Christian Bethancourt. The intention was to have A.J. Przinsky be the tutor, if you will, for Christian Bethancourt. I mean, this was his job to take hold NCs. Right. I don't think anyone in the organization is expecting him to hit 280 and hit 20 homers and drive in 100 runs. But they are expecting him to provide maybe, if not Gold Glove caliber defense, maybe the cusp of Gold Glove caliber defense. And for me, that's the most concerning part of this, as Kelly Johnson with a great catch at the stands to take care of Siciliani for the first out. Agree?
Yeah, I do. I want to talk about that catch first, because Kelly made a great play up into the railing there. Outstanding effort. Puts his foot up to brace himself and made the play. Well done. No, I agree 100%, but there's some part of it that doesn't, it's not jiving, and I don't know what it is, because everything we had been told and heard about Christian Bethancourt over the last 3 or 4 years was that he would be the catcher for the Braves for 10 years. And I don't know if he was moved up faster than he should have been, and maybe he started thinking he was entitled to be the #1 guy and gonna be the #1 guy at the beginning of the season. I don't know if that's it, because as you just said, most people thought that AJ was going to be the guy who gave him a day off here and there. So maybe he started thinking, reading his press clippings, as they used to say, thinking that he could do no wrong and he didn't have to work at it, and he was a guy that was going to be here no matter what. Well, guess what? You get to this level, it's not about what you did in the minor leagues or what people used to think about you. It's about production.
Line over third. That's a fair ball by Ruben Tejada. Johnson's going to chase that one down in the corner, and Tejada is aboard with a 1-out double.
Another breaking ball. Ruben Tejada shouldn't be able to pull Mike Foltynewicz. Certainly not his fastball, but what is that, the 3rd or 4th hanging breaking ball already?
At least. Yep. So Mike back in the soup, but he's got the bottom part of the order up, and Dilson Herrera, the New York second baseman, he's just 21. Popped him up, first pitch. Freeman gives chase. A lot of foul ground, and Freddie gets there on the warning track in front of the Mets dugout steps. There's a big sank it out. Now you can get out of it if you can retire Dylan G. G has but 9 at bats this year and 1 hit. Good cut, fouled straight back. It's 0-1. Don't know who the suitors are for Dylan G, but there are a lot of big league scouts here watching this series. Heard rumors that Houston, maybe the Dodgers, among teams that might have an interest in the Mets right-hander.
Blue Jays too.
Blue Jays too. And that's where New York goes next. And it's a K for G. Foltynewicz gives up a 1-out double and nothing else. He has a shutout inning and, more importantly, a 4-1 lead. Jace Peterson's 2 for 2, including a 3-run homer in the second inning, and the Braves have a 4-1 lead over Dylan G. Huge crowd here at Citi Field. They've drawn well these first 2 games. They had Lagares t-shirt night here on Friday. Late start yesterday at 4:15 Eastern time, and today it's Mets cap day.
First 40,000 got a new cap.
As much as I don't like the blue and orange, the interlocking NY is a whole lot better than the Mets batting practice cap. Did you see that thing?
It's ridiculously ugly. Yeah.
It's Mr. Met.
Yeah, they're embarrassed. They wear that in spring training and they're embarrassed.
Freddie Freeman takes high and tight. 2 balls, no strikes.
Braves left-handers so far 4 for 5 against Dylan G.
Three balls and a strike. And another shot toward left, but Siciliani got it. And there's out number 1. Even though Freddie made an out there, those who know his swing know that when he's hitting the ball with authority that way, that's a sign he's really locked in nicely. Of course, a hitter never looks at it that way. They don't like making outs ever.
No.
But he's still 1 for 2 today. Nick Markakis has flat out to left. Mets have pitched him tough this year. And he's 1 for 11 in this series.
Talked about this opening night of this series. Nick went 6 for 13 against the Padres, but he had a 1 for the Pirates. And he's got 1 for the Mets, so he's gone cold, hot, cold.
Two balls and a strike. And line foul and out of play. I believe Nick's played every game but 1.
Yep.
For the Braves. After his rough night Friday, thought maybe Saturday he'd get a day off, or maybe a day off today. Obviously that hasn't happened. He's been in lineup as a starter all 3 of this series. 2 balls, 2 strikes. And a hot shot past Flores at short. glad he didn't get a day off. He's 1 for 2.
Well, he said that he had varied from his plan. He had an idea what he wanted to do at the plate Friday night, and he went way off the reservation with it. So it wasn't a matter of being late, being tired, or needing a rest. It was more sticking to your game plan.
So he's aboard for Juan Uribe, who tapped out to the pitcher. That ended the Braves' first inning. High and tight. Ball 1. As the day goes on, we'll keep you updated on all the action in the National League. Most importantly, the National League East. Marlins are home to Colorado. Phillies are in Pittsburgh. And later on, Washington plays the Brewers. Up the middle, that's a base hit. G's not fooling anybody. That's 7 Atlanta hits in the first 2 innings and a third.
Yesterday, the Mets bullpen got used up quite a bit. They were having to mix and match because they didn't have their closer to use at the end of the ball game. That was one of the reasons the Braves were able to capitalize in the 9th. But they do have Familia back today. It's just that everybody had to pitch in yesterday, so they're a little used up, and an early exit from the starter would not be nice to their bullpen.
A strike for Kelly Johnson. Kelly's had a big day already. Nice catch up against the railing in left. And a double over the head of Lagares in center field to start the Braves' second. He scored on Peterson's homer to right. Well, Kelly's another one of those really unique players on this club. Obviously, he can play everywhere defensively, but he's like a quiet assassin, almost a ninja. You don't know he's
like that.
Don't know he's there until the ball jumps off his bat.
Ninja Johnson.
Not sure if they're thinking about more kids, Kelly, but you and Lauren, that name's there for the taking if you want, right?
That might stick.
But right?
Yeah. No, you're right. I was surprised a while ago. We were watching he and Jay sign some autographs down the left field line, and he was signing them left-handed. You know, he throws right, bats left, of course, but I didn't know he wrote left-handed, or that he was predominantly left.
Every time I think about it, number one, it makes me feel old, but number two, tells you how fast time goes. 10 years ago, he was part of that wave of kids that came up through the Braves farm system. Baby Braves. 1 ball, 2 strikes. He's had a terrific big league career since. And he pulls that one through. A base hit for Johnson. Here comes Markakis around third. Granderson is going to fire the ball to third, and it's off target. Kelly Johnson's 2 for 2. Markakis scores. It's a 5-1 game, and the Mets fans aren't happy.
That was a breaking ball that Kelly was able to adjust to. It was down, so he basically just dropped the barrel on it, pretty much hit it one-handed, and found a hole. Left-hander's now 6 for 8 in the game.
Right now, nothing very sharp for Dylan G. And again, the emotional factor has to be discussed, but also the bullpen starting ping pong thing that's been going on for New York the last couple of weeks might be in play here too. Now the New York bullpen is going to start to work, as Atlanta's already scored 5 runs on 8 hits, and we're now through the third.
Left-handed Torres loosening up already.
Andrelton Simmons with a long look down to Bo Porter, who has a word with Juan Uribe. So if the Braves have a play on here. Andrelton bounced out to short his first time up. G missed inside. 1 ball, no strikes. to third, and that almost carried Tejada into the outfield with it. Simmons lines out. Tough break for him.
I'll say Kelly's found a hole. This one did not. Good base running by Uribe not to get doubled off. Bullet hit right at him.
Yeah, watch your lips. So first and third, here's Bethancourt. Christian singled and scored in the 3-run second. Braves have scored in every inning so far today.
One thing that immediately is noticeable, Chip, about the difference in Dylan G is his fastball. He didn't have an overpowering fastball, but he was in the 92 range, and he was really sneaky quick with it. So he kept you honest with it. He hadn't been able to do that today. He's been right around 88.
Bouncing ball to short. Flores flips to second, and that'll retire the side. Braves add another run. They do it on 3 hits and lead 5-1 now. Little dribbler. That's going to be trouble. Smoltz, bare hand play. Oh, my goodness. How in the world did he get Tom Glavine there? That looked like a sure hit.
How old is he again?
Wow. Yeah, but which he were you talking about?
Well, either one. But Smoltz carried that over Tom forever. Still does. Of course, they always call him old wooden ankles. So maybe he thought he had plenty of time. That was a heck of a play, wasn't it?
Which brings up the ultimate question. On that play, who was the better athlete? Right?
Yeah. Yeah, it does. It begs the question.
And we did a double take when we saw that replay before the game. Joe and I had forgotten, and Gretchen reminded us that was Craig Wilson at first base on that remarkable play by John Smoltz against old wooden ankles Tom Glavine. Hope you're doing well, Tommy. Everybody in New York says hi to you as Granderson goes to work, and Fultonevich with big lead. Start throwing fastballs, kid. Get ahead and move this thing along. Anderson singled and scored in the New York first. Into right center field. That'll drop for a hit. Granderson's 2 for 2.
On a breaking ball and a changeup. Beginning of this inning, 32 pitches, 21 fastballs, 6 sliders, 4 curveballs. He has not established his fastball yet, and why they continue to keep putting down breaking balls, especially to Granderson, I don't get it.
So about half of your pitches are off-speed stuff when you have a 96-mile-an-hour fastball.
I don't. Yeah, why? He hasn't established it. You can go to it, the second time through the order if you've already been peppering him with 96 and 97.
And that was off speed. Or maybe a 80% effort fastball. It was clocked at 90. 1 ball, no strikes. And now ball 2. Now Bethencourt with a look into Freddie Gonzalez. Maybe calling the pitches now.
No, this is about pitch out or no. So it hasn't got anything to do with pitches.
Over to strike. 2-1. Broken bat. Slowly hit towards Simmons. A lot of spin. Back flip to Peterson. And the Braves get the leading runner. I think Peterson and Simmons are working exceptionally well together in the middle infield. Anything Simmons can get to, Jace knows he's got to get to the bag.
I saw Pete Maravich play in college, and he was a magician. And all of his teammates learned not to take their eyes off of him because you'd get a pass off your forehead if you weren't paying attention. Jace has learned, don't give up watching Anderson on any play. Always anticipate that he's going to feed you the ball from any position like that one.
You know all about Anderson's defensive wizardry. I think Jace Peterson's second among second basemen in runs saved. So the Braves defense up the middle with Maben, Peterson, and Simmons has been state of the art for National Leaguers this year. Here's Duda. And that's high, ball 1. Duda lined out in the Mets first, so he's 0 for 1 and 2 for 5 in the series. He's not been swinging the bat real well of late. In fact, he got the night off in game 1. Pair of doubles for him and a walk yesterday.
And a line out today, so that day off did him some good.
That's over short. Simmons took a chance with the left hand, couldn't flag it down. And Duda corkscrews one into left center field for his first hit. And the Mets have him at the corners now. We've seen more balls hit with funny spin in the first 3 games of this series than we have in the last month.
Agreed.
Nothing's coming off the bat squarely.
And that play by Simmons to get the lead runner already has saved a run.
So Darno, who struck out his first time, has an RBI chance for New York. As I said yesterday, hit it to short. Simmons has made 3 epic defensive plays in his career against the Mets catcher. And late with the fastball, maybe his best of the day.
Yeah, and we've learned in this series the last 2 days that Darno will not let one go by that's in, especially, but even up and in.
And you spotted it right away. The Braves are testing that hand of Darno, and the fractured hand sent him to the disabled list. Darno's playing in just his 15th game for New York. See if Mike can tie him up again. 2 balls and a strike. Lagares and Duda, the base runners. Pitch. Didn't get the call. 3-1.
Good pitch. Check out Sherwin Williams painting the corners. Was this one a little wide? Just barely, but boy, it was coming back.
And he missed inside. So now real trouble. The Mets home run leader is Wilmer Flores, and he bats with the bases loaded. That's the first Fultonevich walk today. And the first visit as well from Roger McDowell. Braves, as you know, head to Boston. 2-game home-and-home series with the Red Sox starts tomorrow. The Mets head to Toronto. They've got to take on the Toronto Blue Jays. That is not an enviable task. The Blue Jays are the hottest team in baseball. They've won their last 10 games. And the top 4 teams in the AL East are now separated by just 4 games.
And it's one of those squirrely 4-game series. They go to Toronto for 2 and come back here and play Toronto 2.
Toronto Blue Jays have the largest run differential in the American League. They've outscored their opponents by 63 runs so far. No team in the National League East has a positive run differential, if you can believe that.
That's sad.
Here's Flores. First pitch swing, foul ball, strike 1. Which means this division's there for the taking for anybody. With exception perhaps right now the Phillies. Miami is only 6 games out and in 4th place. Braves are 2.5 out and leading big today. That one skips past Bethancourt on the ricochet. He's going to have a play at the plate. Atlanta got a lucky bounce. Lagares came streaking home from 3rd and he's tagged out.
It missed all the signage and hit the red brick back behind home plate.
Flores was waving him home. And a 2 unassisted put out.
It's a good play if you can work it out. He was definitely out. Looked like he had a lane. No review.
The other runners move up on a wild pitch. And that's the 2nd out. So still a 5-1 game. 1 ball, 1 strike for Wilmer Flores. And a shot to right field. Base hit. Duda scores. Darno's getting waved. Markakis' throw to the plate is not in time. Throw to second. In time. It's a single and 2 RBIs for Wilmer Flores, who's thrown out at second base to end the inning. Mets have made a game of it, though. It's now 5-3. In New York, Braves fans, spent Father's Day weekend with your dad and the Braves Friday through Sunday, June 19th through the 21st, when the Mets come to town. Dads, make sure to stay after the game on Sunday. You'll get to run the bases with your kids. Go to Braves.com/tickets to plan a day your dad won't forget. Wild one through 3. Teams combined for 8 runs and 14 hits. Mike Fultonevich now leads by 2, and he'll lead off the Atlanta 4th. Mike tried to bunt his first time up and struck out. Bartolo Colon will be planning a future as an air traffic controller when he's through pitching.
I was just thinking that he was really into what was going on the field, and then it was like, oh, pretty. What's that?
Doesn't look like he's going to stop pitching anytime soon. He won his 9th game here on Friday night. Second best total in the National League. Garrett Cole's gotten to 10 first for the Pittsburgh Pirates. Cole beat the Phillies yesterday. He's now 10-2, a 1.71 ERA. He's the real deal.
Foltynewicz gave up the base hit to Flores on a fastball. I think it's the first time today he got beat on his fastball. But he did throw more of them last inning.
So Dylan G back in the game, down only 2 runs, with the Braves pitcher starting things off. It's dribbled foul. It's a ball and 2 strikes. And there's out number 1. Dylan G has his 3rd strikeout. And we go back to the top of the order where Jace Peterson's been very productive so far today.
Yeah, it came after a failed bunt attempt by Foltynewicz, and on the first pitch to Jace, he lines one into the area in right field where some folks are sitting at, I thought there were tables out there in that little area.
Home run, our Toyota key play of the game. You said it was a changeup, right?
Thought so, yeah.
That tells you how strong Jace Peterson is. He provided the power right over the 370 sign, and he was thinking about another one on that swing. Strike 1. That area in right field where those fans are sitting as Jace skies one into shallow left center field. Lagares coming on, diving try, can't get it. The ball bounces away from him, and Peterson will stand at second base with 1 out. And he's got a bloop double. He's a triple away from the cycle.
What'd you say on the first one earlier? That he
ladled one.
Ladled one. I was going to go spatula.
Yeah, this is more of a underhanded backspin lob.
Oh, okay. Well, we're near the Arthur Ashe Stadium that's got construction going on, so people over there would have been proud with a backhanded backspin lob.
I think that's what you call it. We'd have to ask Jim Powell what the technical tennis term is for that. So Peterson's at second for Cameron Maybin, who's been sizzling with runners in scoring position. Back to that party area in right. That's something that'll be featured at SunTrust Park.
Yep.
A similar party area.
Yeah, right below the chop house, the field level part of the chop house. You'll look through the fence.
Maybin tried to bunt, and it is a foul ball. And Cameron back to the plate. No balls, 2 strikes. Cameron Maybin hitting .468 with runners in scoring position this year coming into today's play.
And as hot as he is, and the way he's swinging, especially yesterday with those huge hits, he's 1 for 11 against Dylan G in his career, and I wonder if that's what prompted him to attempt a bunt. Wasn't a bad idea with Freddie coming up. He's swinging great right now.
Didn't get the hook, and Maybin strikes out for a second time. He's 0 for 3. Second strikeout of the inning, 4th of the game, and here is Freeman with first base open. We got Markakis next, And they'll take the bat out of Freeman's hands and put him at first base. All Freeman can do is wryly smile as he gets ready for ball 4. And there he goes. Let's see now. Freddie has been walked intentionally now 3 times this year. So Nick, the stage is yours. Nick can pay. He's 1 for 2. Understand the strategy of Terry Collins. Freeman's hot. Markakis in the series hasn't been, even with his 3rd inning hit.
I would have done the same thing.
Change of beauty. Strike 1. A little low, even count. Swing and a drive down the right field line. Markakis foiled the strategy. It's a ground rule double. Peterson will score. Markakis chases Freddie Freeman to 3rd, and the Braves have a 6-3 lead.
When we had that shot from center field just a second ago, it looked like Dylan G had a changeup loaded up, and in my head I'm thinking, he's not going to throw him 3 in a row, is he? But I think he did. He sure did. 3 straight changeups, and Nick was all over the 3rd one. Now, you normally would say, oh boy, I wish they hadn't bounced out. But that was as far as Freddie was going to get if it stayed in play. Freddie was only going to make it to 3rd. So no harm.
And Markakis drives home his 18th run. Braves already have 10 hits and 6 runs.
And lefties are 8 for 10.
Now righties up there. Uribe cues one off the screen. 1 ball, 1 strike. Torres continues to work in the New York bullpen. G is due to hit 4th in the 4th for New York. Up the middle. Diving stop, Herrera. He keeps it on the infield, and that saved 1 run, but Freeman's able to score. And that is all for Dylan G. G goes 3 2/3. He allows 11 hits, 7 runs so far, 1 walk, 4 strikeouts. And they are not happy at Citi Field. Mr. Met. Holy 7-3. Top of the fourth, 2 outs. Time for our AT&T Uverse trivia question. Since Citi Field opened in 2009, which visiting player has the most homers hit here?
It's hard to believe it's been that long since it opened.
Yep.
I mean, it seems like it was last year. Do you miss Shea Stadium?
The only thing I missed was the those overhead coil heaters that once caught Ron Santos' toupee on fire on opening day when the Cubs were here. Missed that. As Alex Torres is on to pitch. And he's got Kelly Johnson in the batter's box. Kelly's got a good day working. He's doubled, singled, scored 1, driven in 1. Atlanta's got him first and third. 11 hits, 7 runs off Dylan G. That's upstairs, ball 1.
Alex Torres, 2/3 of an inning, a hit, a run, and 2 walks in game 1 of this series. And then yesterday, he went 1/3 of an inning and gave up a hit and recorded a strikeout.
One ball, no strikes. Swing and a base hit to right by Kelly Johnson. He's 3 for 3. Markakis scores. Atlanta has scored 3 more here in the 4th. Man, is this fun. 8-3 now.
Yeah, they're mixing in some extra base hits too. Double by Markakis this inning, a double by Peterson on the bloop. Jace has got a homer. This is after the Mets had picked up 2 in the 3rd inning.
So Simmons bats. He's looking for his first base hit today. Big lead by Uribe at second. And the pitch. Let's look at this from the Mets perspective. If they're trying to trade Dylan G, this probably doesn't help the Mets case, does it?
No. No, it doesn't.
His last start, June 3rd, and it showed. No balls and a strike.
And this doesn't bode well for Terry Collins, trying to avoid some of his guys in the bullpen today and try to get them some rest. Not going to happen.
And as we said, they're staring down the Toronto Blue Jays the next 4 games. The hottest hitting team in baseball. In the stairs. Branford 2 balls and a strike. Toronto is in Boston right now. That game's scoreless in the 4th inning at Fenway Park.
And Carlos Torres pitched an inning and a 3rd in game 1 of this series. He pitched 2 innings yesterday, so he may be unavailable.
Two balls, 1 strike. Bouncing ball to 3rd. Tejada has it. The peg to second to Herrera is in time, and the Braves had another big inning. They scored 3 runs. They do that on 4 hits and a big intentional walk. It's now 8-3.
stuff, low price every day.
Unmistakable skyline of New York City. Every time we fly here, it is so jarring to see the World Trade Center complex. But the Freedom Tower is rising oh so proudly on the southern tip of Manhattan. And last time we were in town, several members of the Braves traveling party made their way to the 9/11 Museum, a very sobering experience. And inspiring as well to see what has risen from that sacred ground here. Boltonevich to work. First pitch, a strike to Daryl Siciliani.
I believe David Cason, our videographer on the trip, went up in the Freedom Tower already on this trip. I'm sure the views were spectacular.
Foul ball by Siciliani. No balls, 2 strikes.
And we were just told by the truck that there's been an announcement that Freedom 2 will be erected and be completed by 2020.
Oh, wow. Great. That's high for Siciliani. 1 ball, 2 strikes. And that nearly hit the Mets left fielder, Daryl Siciliani. Taking a piece out of Christian Bethencourt. On a walk-in, you've got a 5-run lead. And the bottom part of the batting order coming up. 6, 7, and 8 for New York. Pitcher spots due 4th. Fly ball well hit right. Markakis will turn and admire that one. Siciliani hits one into the upper deck. Daryl Siciliani. And the Big Apple rises out in center. His first big league homer, a no-doubter.
Change up. It's now 8-4. If Mike Boltonevich continues to throw breaking balls and changeups, he's not going to get the necessary 5 innings to get be the pitcher of record.
Have you seen him shake off Bethencourt today?
I haven't watched that part of it. I've been watching the catcher signals. See, that kind of pitch shouldn't make him not want to throw his fastball. That makes a hitter hope that he throws me something else.
Bouncing ball to short. Simmons has an in-between hop and gets to Hata for the first out of the inning.
This is where the game, and you've heard that thing where you about pitchers. Well, if you get a big first inning, you get 6 or 7 runs in the first inning, you still got to pitch your game. Granted, I get that. We're in the 4th inning, and this lead was big, then it was small. Now it's big again. We're in the 4th inning. Air it out.
Yeah.
Air it out. They get some guys on base. Okay, then go to your arsenal.
And what's true for the Mets is true for the Braves too. It's not like the Braves didn't have to use their bullpen a lot yesterday as well. You need Mike to buck up and go 7 or more if you can today. Here's a good pitch. Had some sink to it. 2-1 the count. Three balls and a strike to the number 8 hitter. John Mayberry Jr. grabs the bat. He'll hit for Alex Torres next. Fly ball pretty well hit toward left. Kelly Johnson back. Won't get it. It's gone. Dilson Herrera, number 2.
That was a fastball. Get beat on the fastball with a big lead, you tip your cap. That one you understand. The pitch to Siciliano, you don't.
So the Mets have hit 2 homers here in the 4th inning. And they've crept ever closer. It's 8-5 in the 4th. A Sunday shootout at Citi Field. And here's Mayberry. Mayberry has been the busiest Mets pinch hitter this year. This is John's 17th pinch hit action. And a roller slowly hit towards short. He stumbled out of the box, and Mayberry is out number 2. And back to the top, Curtis Granderson's 2 for 2.
And he has hit 2 off-speed pitches today.
He took that one for a strike. Back breaking balls, even count. Aired that one out. 1-2.
This is only Fultonevich's 9th start. He still has some growing pains.
But that's the great equalizer. 98-mile-an-hour fastball. And he takes care of Curtis Granderson. That pitch was thrown with a little anger. Mets hit 2 solo homers in the 4th. And we go to the 5th. It's an 8-5 score. To the 5th inning. Atlanta trying to leave town behind the Mets by only a game and a half. And they'll take a look at one of their former farmhands, Sean Gilmartin, who has been a revelation for the Mets out of the bullpen. And Terry Collins needs him to go deep today. He's the, I think, only Met reliever that we haven't seen yet in the series.
That's correct. And he has been a starter in his career, so he will be the proverbial long man today.
Foul at the plate, and that's a strike. Gil Martin has allowed just 3 runs over 17 1/3 innings, covering 19 outings. He's done his best work against right-handed hitters. They're hitting just 175 against him.
And he's pitched real well against his old club.
Made his major league debut against the Braves on April 10th. He was a Rule 5 draft pick from Minnesota. Was Gil Martin the man we traded for Domit?
Yes.
Former #1 pick.
High 80s, low 90s fastball with a slider and a good change.
There's that good work against the righty. Bethencourt's down swinging. 1 up, 1 down. And Mike Fultonevich is coming up. Colorado's up 3-0 over the Marlins today. That game's in the 5th inning down in Miami. Martin Prado hurt his shoulder. He may be out for a while. Dan Herron's pitching for Miami. And a National League record. 2 men whose last name is De La Rosa are pitching today. Jorge De La Rosa is going for Colorado. Ruby De La Rosa pitches for Arizona later. Ground ball right side, should be easy, and it is for the 2nd out. Washington and Milwaukee scoreless in the 2nd inning. That's Scherzer and Taylor Youngman. Buster Olney had an interesting stat on the Washington Nationals. In their first 62 games, they played only 3 games against teams that made the playoffs last year. Washington has not been able to take great advantage of that. They start play today just 2 games over 500. That's where considered to be the preseason class of the division. Things may get a little bit tougher for the Washington Ball Club, a club that's been racked by injury and is without Ryan Zimmerman today.
Yeah, that doesn't bode well if they've already used up all their softer schedule.
Fly ball to right off the bat of Jace Peterson, and Sean Gilmartin made that look pretty easy, didn't he? 3 up, 3 down, first perfect inning for a Mets pitcher today, and we go to home 5th. #20th. Packages include race registration, a ticket to the June 20th game against the Mets, and a commemorative T-shirt. You can stay after the game for a free post-game concert with Boys to Men. Ready, set, go to Braves.com/BravesCountry5K, all without spaces, and register now.
That'll be a fun day.
Yeah.
All right. Let's see if Mike can get back on track here and have himself a 1-2-3 inning.
He's got the 2, 3, 4 hitters coming up for New York. He missed outside with a slider. Juan Lagares has reached base twice. He singled in the first, reached on a forced play in the third, and then was tagged out on a fortuitous bounce off the bricks right back to Christian Bethancourt on a wild pitch, who tagged out Lagares a good 5 feet from the plate. To short. Should be a good start. Simmons gets it. 1 down. 3 straight retired by Foltynewicz after the Herrera homer.
It's not like there's a big wide space of exposed brick behind home plate either. All that signage back there, and that ball, when it got by Christian, went to that one little space right where the Citi Field sign is and came right back to him.
Braves practice all spring training waiting to unfurl that play in a critical situation. And they picked a perfect spot to do it. As Duda takes a strike. A lot of hard work for Lucas Duda to turn himself from infielder, outfielder, semi-platoon player into an everyday regular middle of the lineup force. Rap on Lucas was his inability to hit left-handed pitching. He's really turned that around for the Mets, and he's on pace to hit 30 homers for him this year.
Good breaking ball there, one of the best he's thrown today.
Shift on for Duda, who spoiled it by going the other way. I imagine that approach that he uses against lefties is the same approach he used right there with Foltynewicz. And he's got a 2-hit day. And here's Darno, the catcher.
And he hit a 98 fastball. All right. Again, going after him with fastballs, you get beat with your best pitch. In this case, just a single. No problem.
That's it. Oh, Foltynewicz is out. After 75 pitches, Freddie Gonzalez has come out of the Braves bullpen, and that's the last pitch of the day that Foltynewicz will throw. No chance to win it. Game's in the hands of the Braves bullpen, surprisingly. To get for Foltynewicz to pick up a potential win after Lucas Duda singled to left. Freddie Gonzalez pops out of the dugout immediately after 75 pitches, takes Foltynewicz down and brings on Brandon Kniff.
Surprising maybe, except for the fact that he's given up 9 hits and 5 runs in 4 1/3 innings. So Freddie wasn't willing to leave him in there for a chance to give up 2 or 3 more runs, close the gap.
Well, for the Braves bullpen, which has been maligned and at times rightly so, last 8 games they've been terrific. A 1.78 bullpen ERA for Atlanta over the last 8 games they've appeared. Hope that continues here in the 5th with Travis d'Arnaud in the box. And a strike at the knees from Kniff. 0-1. One ball, one strike. If there's been an issue for Brandon when he comes in, it's first batter walks. Can't afford that, but that would bring the potential tying run to the plate. Fly ball hammered down the left field line. d'Arnaud kept it fair, and he's made it a one-run game. Third homer for d'Arnaud, 23rd homer allowed by the Braves relief corps, and the Mets are within a run at 8-7.
Look at the location. It's down, fastball down. Now, we've talked about how he likes the ball in, but the Braves have tied him up real well, up and in. When it's down and in and they can drop the barrel, it makes a huge difference, and that ball jetted out of here.
The Mets have hit 3 homers today. The Braves have hit 1, and it's an 8-7 score. We're only in the 5th. Fasten your seat belts. Here we go. 6 runs in 4 1/3 allowed by Mike Foltynewicz, whose June miseries have continued today.
d'Arnaud can hit. Said that at the beginning when we first saw him in the beginning of yesterday's game. They missed his bat when he was out with that broken finger.
Full count to Flores. And he walked in. After the homer, a base on balls, the tying runs aboard. And as we've said so many times, the success of the Braves bullpen has depended on their starter going deep. That hasn't happened when Mike Foltynewicz has been on the mound this month.
Well, 29 hits in 15 2/3 innings is what spells it out. The walks haven't been all that bad, and only 1 today. 29 hits, wild in the zone. The base hit by Duda to start this was exemplary of what I've been talking about. He made a good pitch with a breaking ball, maybe his best breaking ball of the day, and then threw a 98 fastball right down the middle. So use of his fastball is one thing, location is another, and that's why so many hits over 3 starts.
Daryl Siciliani is the batter. Kniff has yet to retire a hitter. A homer and a walk. And Siciliani popped one to right for his first big league homer last time up. There's a strike. It's 3-1. Ball 4.
Tejada's had a good day.
And Roger McDowell is on his way out again. First homer allowed by the Braves bullpen in the last 25 of the third innings. It was a long one off the bat of Travis d'Arnaud, the third homer hit by the Mets so far today. "14 pitches, only 5 strikes. One of those strikes ended up in the seats. Tying run in scoring position, Flores for Tejada. And a strike. Backhanded stop by Bethancourt. Even count. Tejada had a good cut, but could do nothing but foul it away. It's now 2-2.
Well, it's been a while since the Braves have had a old-fashioned slugfest. I mean, you got to go all the way back to the first game of the homestand against Pittsburgh, 10-8. Came up on the short end of that one.
22 hits, 15 runs have been tallied so far, and we're in the 5th pitch. Swing and miss. Tejada's down on strikes. There's the first out for Brandon Kniff, and the second of the inning. And it's up to Herrera if the Mets are to cash in 2 one-out walks. Herrera has homered.
Good breaking ball.
He's got the pitches, but he doesn't have the luxury of easing into his appearances. It's been the issue for Brandon. Walks, a lot of first batter hits. Fortunately, no different today. Once he does settle in, you can see why the Braves like him in relief. Got 2+ pitches.
And his fastball's right around 94.
Nothing in 2. And it stayed high. Frustration there. Brandon thought that was good enough. Was it?
Let's check out Sherwin-Williams painting the corners. Yep. Gary Cedarstrom, good ball and strike umpire, but he missed that one.
Won't have to miss that one. That was right down Broadway, and the Mets are done in the 5th inning. A 2-run homer by Travis d'Arnaud has made it an 8-7 game now. Sixth inning, 2-3-4 coming up for the Braves in the sixth. And as we said earlier, there is nothing wrong with the way the Braves are swinging the bats.
No siree. Bob Dixie averaging 11 hits a game. That's first in the major leagues. Third in RBIs, first in average because of that. Excellent numbers with men in scoring position.
And those numbers were entering today's play.
Yeah.
Braves have 8 more runs and 12 more hits to add to those. Let's see if Atlanta can provide a little more insurance.
They need to figure out a way to solve Sean Gilmartin. He's pitched well against the Braves, as we said, since he made his debut. He's had a good hook.
There's been a grand total of 1-1-2-3 inning in this game, and Sean Gilmartin is the man who authored it. He was in the Braves' 5th. Fouled away. Maben is still alive. Going to be in a foul mood in Boston when we get to town. Toronto scored 6 runs against him in the 4th inning. 6-0 Blue Jays at Fenway Park. Jays are trying to win their 11th straight.
What they had the other day, 8 or 9 run inning. It's in the 7th.
Crazy frame. Swing and a miss by Maben. That change up. Martin has his second strikeout.
Hat trick for Cameron. That hasn't happened in a long time.
And here's Freddie Freeman. Freddie is 1 for 2 with an RBI, an intentional walk, and he came home on a Nick Markakis double. One ball, one strike.
And 1 ball out of the zone so far for Mr. Gilmartin.
Let me correct myself. Freeman did not score on the Markakis double. He came home on the Uribe single. Markakis' double was the ground rule double, so Freddie had to stop. Out of a 3-run Braves 4th. Scored 3 runs on 4 hits. Well, if Gilmartin keeps pitching like this, maybe the Mets will think about a 7-man rotation.
Yeah.
Set down 4 straight. And a bouncing ball to first. Duda has it. Easy play for Lucas. 2 out. Good day today for Markakis. 1 for 10 in the first 2 games of the series. He's 2 for 3 today with 2 runs and an RBI.
And his average back up over 300.
And a strike. So 22 multi-hit games for Nick Markakis. Also rapidly closing in on Darren Lewis for that long errorless streak in the big leagues.
Was sitting on his breaking ball and got 2 fastballs. Guessed wrong.
Oh, 2. Foul away. Darren Lewis from 1990 to 1994 went 392 consecutive errorless games in the outfield. If Nick gets through this one without an error, it'll be 389 straight. He could Set the record back in Atlanta. No balls, 2 strikes. Just missed. That about pegs the needle for Gil Martin. That was at 91 miles an hour.
And right where d'Arnaud wanted it, just off the plate, set up off the plate. Gil Martin delivered it there. Went out there again.
Full count.
It's kind of crazy. Braves 8 runs, 12 hits. They've had a great offensive day. Had a 5-1 lead at one point, 8-3 lead at another point, and it feels like they're behind.
Momentum all in the bats of the Mets, who scored the last 4 runs in the game. Looked like the Braves were going to cruise. Well, New York hasn't let that happen. Atlanta led it 5-1 after 2.5 innings. That's have outscored the Braves 6-3 since. Markakis hanging tough. Bases empty, 2 outs. And he draws a walk.
Great at bat.
Was a great at bat. He's on board for the 3rd time today. First man that's reached against Gil Martin, and that'll bring up Uribe.
Got away with a high change up there. And as we've talked and have learned about Juan, he likes the ball up.
That's fouled away. A ball and 2 strikes. A 78-mile-an-hour changeup. Martin trying to complete his 2nd inning in relief. He'll hit first in the 6th for the Mets. Down a run, 8-7. Pitch. Swing and a miss. Uribe is down, and the Braves are done. 3 strikeouts for Gil Martin in his 2 spotless innings in relief. 8-7 Atlanta. New York. If you're on the road traveling and want to watch your Braves, subscribe to MLB.TV Premium for live or on demand on over 400 devices. Real-time highlights, live look-ins, pitch tracking, and more. Blackouts and other restrictions apply. Go to MLB.TV for details. Mike Foltynewicz for 75 pitches over 4 1/3 innings. Brandon Kniff gave up a run, 2 walks, and a homer in his 2/3 of an inning's worth of work. And now Luis Avilan becomes the 3rd Braves pitcher of the day.
And he'll face Michael Kadire, who's going to pinch hit for Gil Martin. And that's a good thing for the Braves because they haven't been able to solve Gil Martin. Avilan a perfect inning yesterday with a strikeout. Did not pitch in game 1.
So Kadire, Granderson, and Lagares start the 6th for New York. First pitch swing, fly ball shallow center, and that's going to drop. Right off the end of the bat, and Kadire's aboard representing the tying run.
Immediately Cameron Maben turned around and looked at Nick Markakis like, did you read that? Because I know he didn't. It had a big swing and big sound, and it didn't go anywhere. Off the end of the bat, but it looked a lot better than it was, and he got a late start.
So it's lefty-lefty now with Curtis Granderson up, and he had a big swing. Strike 1. That's swept outside, even count. 1 ball, 1 strike. Sharply hit, that's through for a base hit. Kadire around second is going to stop there. And like the man that preceded him, Luis Avilan allows the first 2 Mets to reach here in the 6th.
Curtis Granderson started this series 0 for 6. Since then, since the 5th inning of last night's game, he's 5 for 7, including this base hit.
His 3rd single of the day, and we're only in the 6th inning. He's 3 for 4. Now Lagares bats. He had a 1st inning hit. Tying run in scoring position. Go ahead run potentially at first. And Lagares, a dangerous hitter. Foul away, strike 1.
Look at the Braves bullpen ranks coming into today's play. And they've given up a home run. Kniff gave up a home run to make it 23 in that department. That's out of 15 teams.
No balls, 1 strike. And out of play to the right side, it's 1-2. Way high. 1-2. If you can get Lagares, then you've got Duda up there, and he's a double play candidate, assuming you can get the ball on the ground. Duda, a left-hand hitter.
Just keep the ball down. Keep it down in the zone. He's got to guard the plate. Maybe expand his zone a little bit and hit it at somebody.
He didn't keep it down, and that ball's hammered deep left. It's a 3-run homer for Lagares. The Braves have not been able to outscore their bullpen today, and they've scored 8 runs. It's 10-8.
Breaking ball. Hanger. Gone.
And so's the lead. It's 10-8 New York now. The Mets have hit 4 homers. And here is Lucas Duda. Shift is on. There's nobody out.
Yesterday, Luis faced bottom part of their order. Nobody hit the ball out of the infield. He recorded a strikeout. And today it's a different story, and it kind of summarizes how Freddie Gonzalez, one day to the next, doesn't know who to call on and what they'll give him because of the inconsistency.
Even after the homer, he makes 3 world-class pitches and takes care of Lucas Duda. 1 out for d'Arnaud, who has struck out, walked and scored, and he's hit a 2-run homer. d'Arnaud now with an RBI in 12 of the 15 games he's been able to play for the Mets this year. 10-8. The Mets have come back from a 5-1 deficit. They've scored in their last 4 innings.
Well, I said it felt like the Braves were trailing. No, it really does.
Yep. 5-1 and 8-3. 7 unanswered New York runs. They've played long ball. Homers by Siciliani, his first in the big leagues. Herrera's second this year. d'Arnaud's third. And Lagares' third. This is not as much fun as when the Braves led 8-3 in the 4th. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Play at 2-2. We've told you all series that the Mets have lived a charmed life on their home turf. The Mets are 23-11 here at Citi Field, and they've done great work at home against the National League East. 16-6 against divisional foes at home. The team against whom they have a losing record at home is Washington.
Trying to keep the ball away from d'Arnaud after what happened his last time up when we saw him drop the barrel on that home run down and in.
Bouncer back to the mound, and Avilan's got it. There's out number 2. Wilson Herrera auditioning for the new Mr. Met logo.
Rally Cups.
They've worked 3 in the inning for New York. Flores with a 2-run single in the 3rd. Now it's 0-2. Bobby Parnell will get a chance to pitch. Mets have been searching for opportunities to get him into big league games as he's just back from Tommy John surgery.
And he's going to work in back-to-back games. That was one of the things that was discussed about Peter Moylan when he was promoted to Gwinnett, was they needed to find out if he could work consecutive days, 3 out of 4 days. They needed to know those things before any thought of any promotion might occur.
One ball, 2 strikes. Flores stays alive. Long inning for Avalon. Back-to-back singles, then Lagares a homer to left. Strikeout, a ground out. Now a 1-2 count for the Mets shortstop is due. Swing and a miss. And the side is retired. Braves bullpen's had a bad day so far. They're down 2 runs. It's 10-8, but the Braves bats are going back to work. They're having a good day. Answered runs. And time for our AT&T Uverse trivia question. Answers since Citi Field opened in 2009. Which visiting player has hit the most home runs here?
I'll say Freddie.
Freddie? I'll go with Ryan Zimmerman. That's Adam LaRoche. 13 homers here. Adams with the White Sox this year. And wish him well as Braves will take aim at Bobby Parnell, back from Tommy John surgery. As Joe said, working in back-to-back games for the first time since his return.
So that'll be a test for him. In fact, it's his first 2 games since coming back from the DL, and gave up a hit yesterday and then got a ground out the only two batters he faced. He was sitting around 90 or 91 yesterday, and we were used to seeing him in the upper 90s.
So we'll have Kelly, Johnson, Simmons, and Bethancourt up. Again, the Braves' bats have been great today. 8 runs, 12 hits. After going 5 for 26 with runners in scoring position in the first 2 games of the series, the Braves are 7 out of 13 in such situations in the first 4 innings. But they don't have a hit since the 4th. They need to stack together a few here and get something done against the Mets bullpen, which has been a good group all year long for Terry Collins.
Having pitched no more than he has, this might be a guy that you could get something started on to try to get the lead back.
And the right man's up there. Kelly's 3 for 3. And he's promptly fallen behind. 3 balls, no strikes. Leadoff walk, tying run to the plate.
The bullpen for the Mets has been an ongoing battle too. Familia settled in as the closer, and he's done outstanding work. Carlos Torres, for the most work, has done a good job setting up, but otherwise for Terry Collins, very much like Freddie Gonzalez, it's a flip of the coin.
So Simmons bats after a 4 for 4 day yesterday. Appleton's 0 for 3. And he took a strike.
Sean Gilmartin very sharp today for New York. However, he was excellent. 2 innings, only 1 base runner.
He's walked to Nick Markakis. He also struck out 3 men. He might win it if this score holds for New York. Fly ball left center. Not much carry to it. Who wants it? It'll be Lagares. He's got it. First goes Kelly Johnson. Pendleton's out number 1. Christian Bethancourt's the hitter. Todd Cunningham grabs a bat. He'll pinch hit, barring a double play.
Christian at first base. Wouldn't expect anything to be on here, but it'd be nice to see him go to right field. Move the runner around. Maybe that's what he was looking at and not so much Bo Porter.
Parnell's fastball of 92.
Checking out Tejada.
He's close to the line behind third. That's outfield. Plays Bethancourt as an opposite field hitter. Christian pulls a mistake to the gap. He could run wild. Kelly Johnson moderately at first. Pitch. Broken bat roller towards short. Flores to second for 1. And the throw to first is in time. It is a double play. And that will end the inning. Braves get a leadoff walk in the 7th. Couldn't cash it in. And Bobby Parnell hits a ground ball that turns into a double play, and it's a play that might be appealed and challenged by the Braves at first base. And Freddie Gonzalez is still waiting for the signal and it will not be challenged. The double play stands. That ends the 7th inning. God bless America.
Sherwin-Williams and Toyota.
Pretty day in New York as we head to the bottom of the 7th inning. Emma Kate with a great rendition of God Bless America here in New York. And Atlanta goes deeper into its bullpen with the bottom part of the order coming up for the Mets. They lead 10-8 in the rubber game of the series, and David Aardsma is on to pitch.
David did not pitch yesterday. He had been working quite a bit since he first got called up. He'd worked in 3 out of 4 days, so he got a day off yesterday. Those are his numbers in his short time. Former Met.
And his first pitch, a strike to Daryl Siciliani, who will never forget this day. Yesterday, his first major league assist. Today, his first major league home run. That came in the 4th. And he drives another one toward right. Markakis, though, will measure that one up. 1 out. Braves will have 9-1-2 coming up in the 8th. It's a 2-run game. Here's Tejada. He has a double in 3 tries. Foul straight back. It's 0-1. The Mets' next opponent is Toronto. It's now a 10-5 Toronto lead in Boston. That game's in the 6th inning at Fenway Park. They've got 4 with the Jays, while the Braves have 4 with the Red Sox. 2 on the road, then 2 back in Atlanta. Swing and a miss. 2. If you missed it earlier, Williams Perez is scheduled to start for Atlanta tomorrow, despite picking up the save with, what, 9 pitches, I think it was?
Yeah, 8 or 9.
So Freddie said, to quote him, at 8 o'clock, but he reserves the managerial discretion of changing his mind as far as tomorrow's starter is concerned.
Weather's going to play a factor too,
yeah.
we're told.
90% chance of rain in Boston tomorrow, which will make Tuesday a delight. That was a 4 o'clock first pitch schedule for Game 2. Fly ball center, and Maven should have no trouble. He's got it. There's the second out. Game 2 will be Julio Teheran and Wade Miley. Had an in-dugout tiff with his manager, John Farrell, in his last start. Then we'll race the Red Sox back to Atlanta for Wednesday and Thursday games at Turner Field. Then the Mets come into town next weekend.
None of the pitchers scheduled to pitch against Atlanta in the 4-game series have a winning record. None of them. In large part because the Red Sox coming into play today with 20. Is that a 7 or a 2?
Hold on, you might have a bad printout.
I do.
27 and 36 are the men of the Fens. 10 and 20 against their division, and they're 12 and 20 on the road. Red Sox have been outscored by 52 runs. That's the second highest run differential deficit in the American League. Two balls and a strike for Braves pitcher David Artzma. This low to Wilson Herrera. 3-1 to count. Eric Campbell's on deck. He would hit for Parnell if the inning stays alive. And it will. Campbell bats with a man aboard and 2 out. Artzma, the 4th Braves pitcher. Nobody has pitched a perfect inning for Atlanta today. And Luis Avilan, the only Brave not to walk a hitter, but he gave up 3 hits and 3 runs, including the Lagares go-ahead homer. So here's Eric Campbell hitting a .181 for New York. Runner at first goes. Pitch high. The throw to second is short hopped. Glove came up. Tag came down. And by the time it did, Herrera was in safe with a head first slide. This one might be challenged by Freddie Gonzalez. He's taking a peek. And we will too.
Quick crossover step. He's safe. Anytime the glove has to come up, as we've shown you so many times, a runner has a definite advantage to get under the glove on a short hop.
So Herrera has his first steal, and a chance for Campbell to add an insurance run. It's 10-8 New York. Runner at second. Artzma wants to make sure he and Bethancourt have the same set of signals.
Braves will have a pinch hitter and then the top of the order coming up in the 8th, so very important to hold that guy at second.
Ground ball short. Eggleton has it, and Campbell is disposed of, and Artzma works a scoreless 7th. The Braves bench will get it started in the 8th. Still a manageable ball game, but New York leads it by 2. As we told you, the Braves are headed to Boston. 2 with the Red Sox coming up. Then we're right back home. Wednesday and Thursday, Red Sox Nation will invade Turner Field. Come on out, support your Braves as they face a slumping David Ortiz and the Red Sox. Tickets are going fast. Get them online at Braves.com/tickets. Secure your seats today.
This is Hansel Robles, who tried to finish the game for the Mets last night in the 9th inning. Promptly walked the leadoff man, gave up a hit to Simmons, struck out a batter, but all in all, he was charged with the 2 runs that tied the game and a blown save. Looking for his first career save, didn't get it. Good arm though. Low to mid-90s fastball and a hard slider.
And Todd Cunningham will greet him first. Todd will pinch hit for the Braves in the 8th. After that brilliant start for Todd, times have been tough for him at the plate. He opened the season for the Braves with 3 straight multi-hit games. Then had a 1-for-28 stretch offensively for Atlanta. His average now at .243. And Robles misses low. 1 ball, no strikes. Mile high pop. Herrera with the glasses gleaming says he's got it, and he does with a shoulder high catch. And we go back to the top of Jace Peterson. What a day for Jace at the plate. He's singled, he's hit a 3-run homer, he's doubled, he's scored 3 runs. For the Braves, Kelly Johnson's 4th inning hit is their last hit in today's game. Ball 1 low. Fastball, good cut. Jace missed that one. 1 ball, 1 strike. Yankees are winning today. They're beating Baltimore 5-3. How about Alex Rodriguez?
It's record after record.
It's incredible, isn't it? First, the 1-1 pitch. A-Rod joins Henry Aaron as the only 2 players with more than 2,000 runs batted in. A-Rod with 2,001 of those, still 296 away from Henry Aaron. He's hit 666 homers, and he started play today 5 hits away from 3,000. Line drive toward Lagares in center. He'll drift to his right, and he'll make the catch. 2 out. Here's Cameron Maybin, 0 for 4, and uncharacteristically 3 strikeouts.
Everybody at the top of the order has had a good day today except for Cameron. And lately it's been the opposite. He's been right in the mix.
Needs a strike.
The Mets feel about Freddie Freeman like people feel about Giancarlo Stanton. If you've got a 2-run lead, the thing that would be best is have him lead off an inning without a chance to tie. So they are anxious to get Cameron Maybin retired and have Freddie lead off the 9th.
Ball, 2 strikes. With that in mind, the Mets do have double-barreled action in their bullpen. The lefty and a righty are up, just in case Freddie does appear here in the 8th. Leathersich if Maben reaches. Familia for the 9th if he doesn't. 1 ball, 2 strikes. Line drive center field, base hit. So Terry Collins, the decision is yours. The Braves will bring the tying run to the plate. And here we are. This is very similar to what happened yesterday. And Terry Collins will make the signal to the bullpen. Now the decision is, will it be the lefty or will it be the righty? It apparently is going to be the righty. That would be Juris Familia. So Terry Collins trying to save the game first in the 8th and then worry about the 9th when it comes around. Braves bring the tying run to the plate. The Mets go to their closer in the 8th. And in New York, they're down 10-8. The tying run is represented by Freddie Freeman. Most of the time, 8 has been enough for the Braves to win a ball game. This year, however, has been an aberration.
From 10 to 14, the Braves were 103-1 when they scored 8 or more runs. This year, 7-3. And they have 8 on the board and have had since the 4th inning today. They gave up 2 in the 3rd, 4th, and 5th, and 3 more in the 6th.
Juris Familia was unavailable yesterday. A lot of pitches on Friday and the birth of his son, Juris Jr. He's rested, he's ready, and you know he's inspired to face the Braves first baseman. Runner at first, 2 outs. And the first pitch bounced up the middle. Herrera diving glove. Full bag, what a play. Incredible play by Dilson Herrera to break the Braves' hearts in the 8th.
And an accurate flip. Didn't get much on it, but it was accurate.
Herrera's had a huge day, and he earns our SunTrust Save of the Game honors.
Who knows how this inning would have turned out, what it might have led to if he doesn't, A, knock it down, but then a good flip over to Flores. Flores is 6'3", so he's got a long reach and a long stretch. And just got Cameron Maybin.
Great play. And New York's lead remains at 2, 10-8. And Dana Eveland is on to pitch. He's the 4th Atlanta reliever. Mike Fultonevich started for the Braves today and was unimpressive. 9 hits, 6 runs, 2 homers, 75 pitches, and 4 1/3 worth of work. The Braves pitcher not to give up a hit or a run is David Aardsma, who pitched an inning of scoreless relief in the 7th.
Dana Eveland's been in 2 games, has not retired a batter yet. He's only faced 1 batter each time. A walk his first outing, and then a double yesterday.
Braves this year have used 40 different players. 22 of those 40 have been pitchers. Eveland's the 22nd. And a roller foul, 2 balls, 2 strikes. And there's a good start. He gets Granderson to swing and a miss. 3 singles, 2 strikeouts for Curtis. And Eveland has out number 1. Juan Lagares had the big blow in the ball game. A 3-run homer off Luis Avilan that turned the game to the Mets. One of his 2 hits today. Line into left center field. Long run Maybin. He'll try to cut it off. Third, Hoppy has it. Lagares digging for second. Throw there late. He's a triple away from the cycle now. A 1-out 8th inning double.
Talked about his improvement as a hitter. It continues. He got a flat slider that was up, about belt high. He's been nursing a sore elbow. That's one of the reasons he didn't play last night. Sore elbow in his throwing arm.
Nothing wrong with his bat or legs today. As Duda swings and misses, strike 1. Pitch. Steve, right 2.
Shift on for Duda again, but the Braves have to respect the fact that Lagares is at second, so Uribe closer to the bag at third in case he runs.
How about that sequence? Duda's retired on 3 pitches. That's like the Lucas Duda of years gone by. Cleveland carved him up. 2 out. And Darno is the hitter. Looking ahead to the Atlanta ninth, Markakis, Uribe, Kelly Johnson are the 3 scheduled to hit first for the Braves. to short. Simmons has it, and a perfect throw sends this game to the 9th inning. Dana Evelyn with a scoreless 8th, 10-8 New York. Brought to you by Coca-Cola and Delta Airlines. VIP field and backstage passes are still available. Get there early to see platinum selling artist Young Jock perform in the Braves Fan Plaza before the game. Get your tickets today at braves.com/concerts. This has been a series of incredible highs and heartbreaking lows for Atlanta. Yesterday, the team is euphoric as we've seen all year long, coming back to steal one in 11 innings by a 5-3 final. This one looked like it was going to go the Braves' way. They had an 8-3 lead after 3.5, but the Mets have come storming back to lead 10-8. So Atlanta has 3 outs left to get at least 2 runs to live to see the bottom of the 9th inning. And it'll start with Markakis against Juris Familia.
Need at least 1 base runner.
Something else about Familia, the way Terry Collins handled him in the 8th inning, that's not unfamiliar territory. He already has 3 saves this year, 4 outs or more. So Terry Collins is not a push button manager who only uses his closer for the last 3 outs.
He only threw 1 pitch, didn't he?
That helps, certainly.
Yeah.
Familia, the 3rd Mets pitcher since 1995 in team history to record back-to-back saves of an inning and 2/3 or more. Last done by Aaron Heilman and John Franco.
Friday night he got 1 out and then he walked a batter, single, walked, loaded him up with 1 out. That was in a 2-run game. And then he got Markakis to bounce into a double play to end the game.
Trying for his 19th save in 20 tries. He started the year 13 for 13. Just low. Good eye. 2-2.
Sherwin-Williams painting the corners. Low. Over but low, as Pete would say.
We're a pitch away from getting that hoped-for base runner.
That leadoff guy on, boy. Braves been able to capitalize on those situations, make things happen. Made things happen Friday night after he got one out.
Uribe's next. 3-2 pitch for Nick Markakis. And it's out to short. Flores has it. Can he make a good throw? Yes, he can. One out. Juan Uribe has 2 hits and an RBI today. Now batting .276.
1 for 2 in his career against him. Did not face him Friday night.
The .276 mark is Juan's batting average with the Braves. He's at .259 between the Dodgers and Braves. This man throws hard. That one peppered the glove at 98. Little flare, shallow right. That's going to drop for a 1-out hit. Uribe fought it off, and he's got a 3-hit game. And the tying run will come to the plate. Kelly Johnson, capable of hitting anyone's fastball.
He's had a 3-hit game. Jace Peterson 3 hits with a double and a homer. Kelly Johnson 3 for 3 with a walk.
Second 3-hit day for Uribe since joining the Braves. That's up off the screen foul. 0-1 your count.
Kelly's not faced him before, but as we've said many times, good fastball hitter.
Ball slicing down the left field line, out of play. It's 0-2. Popped out of Darno's glove. There's a break.
Still alive. All fastball so far. Nothing off speed.
Line drive center. Lagares, though, had him played perfectly. 3 steps to his right, and the Braves are down to their last out.
What a shame. If he wasn't playing him shaded to left, that's a gapper. If he's playing him straight up, that goes to the wall. Kelly hit it right on the button.
So Simmons will try to keep the game alive for the Braves. He's 0 for 4. He's had great luck against the Mets this season. Hasn't had much luck today. Big crowd on its feet with 2 out. Ball 1.
They turned this crowd. This crowd was booing earlier today because of Dylan G and the fact that he was giving up What did he give up? 9 hits in 4 1/3 innings and 6 runs. 8 runs, wasn't it? I'm looking at the wrong line. 8 runs in 3 2/3 innings. They were about ready to take their caps and go home. But the offense turned the game around.
Pretty pitch, even count. Up and in.
Crazy goings on in Houston. Houston beat the Mariners 10-1 2 days ago. Mariners won 8-1 last night. Today it's 10-0 Houston again.
Astros in a tight race in the AL West. 2 balls and a strike. Tomahawk deep short. Flores has it. He'll go to second, and in time, the Mets have taken 2 out of 3 from the Braves. They win 10-8. New York hits 4 homers today. Atlanta couldn't hold a big 8-3 lead. New York scores 7 unanswered runs and stuns Atlanta to take 2 out of 3 in the series. Vermillion saves it. 10-8 the final. We'll recap in a minute.
This copyrighted telecast is presented by authority of the Atlanta Braves and may not be reproduced or retransmitted in any form. And the accounts and descriptions of this game may not be disseminated without the express written consent of the Atlanta Braves.